I'm Garrick Freitas, and you're watching Dirt Live.
Hey, welcome back to Dirt Live. We're here with our special guest, Harley Letner. Harley, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you, George. Thanks for having me. Excited to see what goes on tonight.
Well, you know, you've been around a while. You got a third generation of family with your grandpa, Danny. Where did it all start in off-road racing? Let's go back to your grandpa.
I think the whole racing thing started with his dad, actually. He used to build hot rods and 32 Fords and race them on land speed records. Holds the land speed record in 42, like 123 miles an hour in one of those old roadsters. And then passed down to my grandpa, which used to race on the beaches of Daytona in NASCAR. Was actually inducted in the Hall of Fame for NASCAR. And then I guess one of his buddies gave him the itch to go off-roading. Started from there, went down to my dad, now passed on down to me, and he's still a huge part of it, goes to every race and cheers me on.
Well, you know, we always see him there walking around, and he's been there for everything for you. Where did you start? I mean, you as a kid, how old were you, you know?
I started, you know, just earliest memories going to races with my dad and my grandpa, and just always growing up to want to be a trophy truck driver, you know. And so time came, I was about 15. The Parker 400 came to Parker where I was living. I told my grandpa I'm going to race my quad. And he argued with me, and I said, no, I'm doing it anyway. And then he called me over and he said, I bought you this. And there was a brand new Chenoweth Class 12 car sitting there. It was all, you and your cousin are going to team up and race this. So from then on, you know, just been going there strong, racing our cars for my grandpa.
Now, about what year was that? You know?
I think 99.
So pretty good times.
Yeah.
Did you win right off the bat, or did it take you a little while?
First race, we were heavy on the throttle, so we blew up the old bus transmission with about 2 laps in. We changed it and finished 5th there. And then the next race, we went out to Barstow, and we got 1st and 2nd overall in Class 12 and 2nd overall. So it was pretty good. Been trying to win ever since.
Well, you know, that's kind of cool. And anybody else in your family race, just you, or?
Just me and my cousin, yeah.
Okay. And, you know, let's go back to some great races that you've had. I know back the year, I think we talked about 2009, one of your best races.
Yeah, I'd have to say that was one of our best, because we ended up winning Class 1 and about 5th overall. And then that was the year the black box came out, the RC tracking. And about Thursday after the race, they called and said we were the only team without a penalty, and we won overall. So that was just some of the greatest news I've ever gotten. Having that nice brass spear checker on top of your toolbox is just a daily reminder of one of my favorite races that we've ever won.
Now, did you, I mean, was it a pretty tough, I know a lot of guys, that was the year that a lot of guys got caught, you know, speeding.
Yeah.
And cutting the course and a lot of things. So do you kind of like having that box? Was that something you like?
I mean, granted, however the race went, it has helped since then, I think. There's a lot of guys that go down pre-running, and I mean, I think to an extent it's a little too strict. We've always loved Baja for being able to go pre-run, put in your homework, and find the little lines here and there that cut off a couple seconds. Not so much a mile or two, but I think it helps keeping everyone honest and keep the game fair.
Well, I know you kept on going. You raced that whole year. How'd you do at the 1,000 that year?
That year was pretty bad. I had the championship wrapped up in the bag. All I had to do was beat the Cops Class 1 car. Corey gave me the car in 2nd place, and I was about 100 miles from the finish trying to pass Dan Martin, and drove into a ditch and ripped the front A-arms off. Sat there for about 20 hours. So to think about how bad I messed up.
Kind of pretty depressing, huh?
Yeah, just for the race and the championship.
Well, you know, so then what you guys, you and Corey thought about the next year, and tell everybody what happened. Next year you come right out of the box again.
Came out of the box, won Laughlin, got 2nd at San Felipe, 3rd at the 500, and then again came into the 1,000 with McMillin for points. And Corey had got stuck in San Felipe, and the Mexican guys hooked up to the front bumper and ripped our lights off. So we only had one top light bar, so it got dark that night, and Corey crashed the car and screwed up some of the A-arms. So I got the car about halfway, and it took me well over longer than it took the leader to finish the race to do my section. I stopped about 10 times, got out, chit-chatted, but we finished 2 days later and ended up clinching the championship for 2010.
So that's pretty cool. You know, just about 2 in a row in 2 years, you know.
Yeah, we for sure, without little mistakes, would have got it 2 years in a row.
Now, did that allow you to pick up more sponsors and stuff, or?
We've always had a pretty strong following, but nothing new came out of it. It just excited a lot of the other sponsors with the publicity you get from winning the SCORE championship.
Yeah, and I know you've raced other racing, Vegas to Reno, and other. What is you have more fun in Mexico or in the United States racing? What's the most fun?
I think nowadays it's Mexico is more fun. You get the pre-running, you get to go down a week, 2 weeks. Some of us that are lucky enough to do it, and it's just 2 weeks of it's work, but you're out pre-running all day in the desert with your friends doing your homework. As in Best in the Desert, you go for a few days, and you start Wednesday, and it's nonstop with qualifying and everything, and you race, and you're done. You don't ever get to see the course. It's still fun racing, but I have more fun in Baja for sure.
Now, you were teamed up with Corey Holopoff for all those years. You guys split up.
Yeah. Gramps had a strict set of guidelines that we're supposed to follow, and he ventured off them. So he got asked to leave the team, and now it's just me.
Now, you do other, I know I've seen you at some of the other races. If you're not racing the Class 1, you'll race a 10 car, whatever.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have the Class 1 car, but can't afford to run every single race. So I relieve Mikey Lawrence sometimes in the 10 car if he's too busy or has somewhere to be. Then I actually just picked up a team with John Shue and Get Performance in a very nice built Class 10 car. And I'm going to run all the HDRA and the rest of SCORE, the 500,000 with them.
So you'll be coming back. You might be in Ridgecrest for that race.
I'm planning on being in Ridgecrest for that race if the car is done, yeah.
That's pretty cool. 10 has really become a wild class. You know, I mean, it's more affordable now because you can run the Ecotec motors and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it started like going downhill with the Hondas and Toyotas because you're spending as much as you could for a Class 1 motor. And so everyone kind of veered out of them. Now the new Ecotec and Ford came out. Everyone's going back, and I think it's going to be a really big class. And there's 75 of them at Parker.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch, you know. Did you race? You were at Parker?
Yeah, I raced Class 1.
Yeah, so how'd you do there?
Not so good.
One of those.
We qualified 9th overall, 3rd buggy. And I moved up a little ways through the field and got up to about 5th overall. And then had a CV clip fall off the inner axle of a CV joint. Fixed that for about 2 hours and got going again, and then broke 2 rocker arms.
Wow.
So I'm using that as my throwaway.
Yeah, so down in Baja, let's go back to Baja. You talked about you love Baja, pre-running, all that. Yeah. What's your favorite spot down there? I mean, course spot. You know, I mean.
As weird it is, I really love the Zoo Road to San Felipe with the rough. That's a favorite spot to me in the race car. Not the pre-runner so much, but it's just, I don't know. I love all of Mexico. I love the adventure, you know. It's not so much always rough. You get to go up through the mountains and pine trees and stuff, and it's nothing better than after a 8-hour day of pre-running to pull up on the beach of San Felipe and sit down and have a couple tacos at the cleanest taco stand you can find.
Yeah. Is there one of those? You got one somewhere?
Any of them.
How do you
everyone's open.
How do you pick one? I mean.
One with the least amount of people. You don't have to wait so long.
Okay. So down there, favorite, just like I said, San Felipe. Do you miss not being at San Felipe this weekend? Or?
Yeah, I definitely do because I had to be gone already down there pre-running. I think I'm going to head down Thursday or Friday and go down and support the Checkers and Mikey Lawrence in the 10 car. So just do some pitting, have a good time.
So we talked about it. You're going to be here the 500, the 1,000 in Baja. And any big plans for next year?
I think I'm just going to stick with Best in the Desert. I'm not sure. Just waiting. My grandpa's kind of waiting to feel out how this goes with Roger being the new owner and everything, but he's really afraid of Mexico. He watches the news too much and tells me how much trouble I'm going to get in if I get kidnapped, and then sends me down there, but he won't go. So I don't know. It's all up to the boss.
So you'll be at the 500. You'll be teamed up with
John Shue and Get Performance.
Well, that's in a 10 car. So, and then the 1,000, same way.
Same team.
And then you'll be finishing up. He's trying to go for the World Championship, I think.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm trying to talk my grandpa into bringing the 1 car down there, so we'll see.
What do you think when you heard Roger Norman? We talked to other drivers. You heard he took over. What do you think about that?
I personally think it's the best thing that ever happened to it. I think Sal did a tremendous job running it all those years, but I think it was time for some fresh blood. And so far, I've been to a few of the HDRI races, and I think Roger's going to turn it around and make it the best association out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool because he was, you know, he's raced and he's been around, and he'd love to race, but right now he's pretty busy. But he seems, I think he knows what you guys want as racers. I think.
Well, that's the good thing with him. He was a recent racer. Sal raced ages ago,
Right.
and Roger's been doing it up until he took over. So he knows the demands. He knows what we want out there as drivers. So I think it's going to be good.
Now, do you got any ideas maybe to help? You know, think Roger, something that you see that may be lacking.
From the few I've been to, not really. I think everything was running smooth so far.
Now, the qualifying, you heard about that for the 500?
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, well, the Class 1 trophy trucks will qualify. What do you think about that?
I think that's amazing. That's one of my favorite things about the BITD. You know, it's like it beats your car up pretty good, but you get the spot you deserve. You know, you're not stuck in, say, 80th place behind one cars and trophy trucks. You get the spot that you went out and qualified for.
Now, when you raced and, you know, you won the championship and you raced hard, who was your toughest competition those couple years, you know?
I mean, everyone's tough competition, but McMillins are always quick, especially down in Mexico. We had some good battles with All German Motorsports, and the Wilsons, and just, they're fast. All of them are fast if they're still going.
Well, do you have any picks for San Felipe? You're going to be down there. Let's give us a Class 1 pick, because that's the class you were in.
Class 1, I'm going to go with Brian Wilson. He's starting up towards the front, and he's fast out of the 16 car. I think he's going to do pretty good.
How about trophy trucks? I know you want to get in one.
I'll go for my good old buddy Robby. He was fast at Parker. I think he's going to be unstoppable down there too.
Now Robby and
Gordon.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to race.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, well, I thought he was.
Well,
I'll go with McCachren then.
Yeah, you take the other Rob.
The other Rob. I said Robby.
Yeah. You
keeps it open.
That's what you meant. He keeps it kind of cool. You know, and he's very good down there. He's won it in the last 2 times.
Yeah. He's tough to beat for sure anywhere he goes.
So but we'll see you down there if you get a chance. Come by and join us on the set, and we'd love to have you kind of join us. And the people at home would love to, you know, hear from Harley Letner. So it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. You're a great racer, a champion, right here, Harley Letner on Dirt Live. We're going to go to a commercial. When we come back, we're going to be live via Skype with Andrew Myers. We'll be right back.